Grace and peace. Grace and peace to everybody, man. All praise to the Most High Yahuwah, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahusha Hamashiach, who the world knows as Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was just sitting here chilling, thinking about how the streets lied to you, bro. The streets lied to you. They sold you a whole lot of dreams, you know what I'm saying? And got you walking in stuff that's gonna keep you in a mental adolescence for the rest of your life. You know, we can start from the beginning. Let's look at education. You know what I mean? When you was going to school, you ain't want to ditch. You ain't want to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? They said you was a lame. If you was focused on your schoolwork, kids who was getting good grades, they was nerds. You know what I mean? So first they told you that education was stupid. The education was lame. You know what I mean? And that school stuff, ain't nobody focused on that. You need to probably focus on something else, man. Probably get you some money. You know what I mean? Are you really in there trying? You really in there trying to get good grades? You feel me? And we just gotta understand, open ourselves up to the fact that, we got a real self-destructive culture, a very self-destructive culture. And you can act like what I'm saying isn't true. You know what I mean? But you know it and you grew up in it. You know what I'm saying? And and you know how it was looked at for those kids who was really trying to strive, you know what I mean? But I guarantee you that some of them people are the people who a lot of those people who said it was lame is hating on right now. You know what I mean? But the streets gonna tell you, they told you that education was lame. You know what I'm saying? They told you not to better yourself, not to get knowledge. You feel me? Just to grow up and realize that knowledge is power to an extent. You know what I mean? So the streets lied to you about a lot. They lied to you about drugs. You listen to all of the music. That's what they glorify and that's what they promote. You know what I'm saying? Get high, get drunk. You feel me? And it's a cool thing now. It was a point in time when, like, even when we was growing up, you know, the rappers were drug dealers, which ain't no better. You know what I mean? But if you notice that the rappers now are drug users, you know what I'm saying? And and that's what comes when you give a culture, when you give a generation of people, and tell them that you know this stuff is cool to sell in their neighborhoods. Well, guess what? Eventually, them drugs gonna end up affecting the people you selling it to. It's gonna end up affecting the children that they have, and then you end up with a generation of people who think it's cool to pop pills. Think it's cool to sip lean. They put it in their music and they glorify it because it ain't even no shame in it no more. You know what I'm saying? There's no shame in being a fiend. You feel me? And and that's crazy. You got to look at how lame the streets made you, right? They told you that the streets told you everything else was lame. Why the streets made you become a lame. You know what I'm saying? They told you not to get educated, so they want you to be an idiot. They told you to do drugs, so they want you to destroy your body and poison yourself. You know what I'm saying? The streets lied to you about all of this stuff. The streets lied to you about sex. You know what I mean? The streets lied to you and told you that, um, you know, this is all for benefit. It's for pleasure. Don't love these hoes or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? These women ain't this. These women ain't that. Don't commit to them. You know what I'm saying? Just use them to get whatever it is that you're gonna get from them. And stuff like that. They teach you stuff like bros over hoes and things of that nature. And so you end up starting to develop a type of mentality that's gonna look at all these women. You look at these women like they're nothing until you end up having a sister or something, or until somebody calls your mother a hoe. You know what I mean? Until somebody calls your niece or your the daughter is the number one thing that God gets a lot of these dudes back with. You know what I mean? When I had my daughter, I ain't gonna lie, for probably like a month or so, maybe a month or two, I wasn't even looking at women. Like I couldn't even look, at a woman. I didn't want to look at them lustfully because I knew I had developed in my mind that, this is somebody's daughter. You know what I mean? And so it took for me to have a daughter to even be able to acknowledge that and to understand that, and that I don't want nobody objectifying my daughter. You know what I mean? So I'm not finna do it to nobody else's. Now, of course, you know, time passes and things go on and you begin to, kind of overlook certain things, but sometimes it takes for that type of stuff to really put a to really open your eyes. You know what I mean? Now you can be extreme with things, but at the same time, what's extreme in a world that's extreme? You know what I mean? We live in a world that's extreme with wickedness. Why can't we be extreme with righteousness? You know what I'm saying? And so when I just be looking at a lot of this stuff, man, I just be like, the streets really lied to us about a whole lot of stuff. So now, because they lied to us about sex, you know what I'm saying, and drugs and education, so we ain't got no knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We don't have our minds and our bodies are not operating properly. We out here using each other as sex objects. And then we going to having children. Now we got broken homes. You know what I'm saying? Now we have children that's growing up without a father or without a mother, grandparents raising them, all because we treat sex like it's just something that, is that we could just go about willy-nilly, like it ain't a sacred thing, which is another video that I'm gonna talk about, speak on that too. Like sex is just some common thing. And so when we treat it like a common thing, then you're gonna end up with common problems. You know what I'm saying? And so we have a lot of common problems when we look at the breakdown of the family. You know what I mean? And these is the things that come from that. It comes from the culture that we come from. It comes from a self-destructive culture. A lot of people would like to point out systematic, oppression or all of these different things. But I'm telling you, the solution to all of these things is the reverse of what this culture has given us. You know what I'm saying? The reverse of this self-destructive culture. You know what I mean? That had told you all type of lies since you was young and that you grew up believing. You know what I'm saying? Under the guise of being cool or being accepted or being lame, or you know what I'm saying? That's the stuff that kind of creates the environment that we live in. And so they lied to us. And instead of men being men and taking care of their families, you know what I'm saying, and doing what they supposed to do, they told you that was lame. I was one, right? I'm from the south side of Chicago. I'm from 79th Street. You know what I'm saying? And so I remember the some of the stuff that people would, try to say, or I would hear behind my back, because nobody would never say nothing to me directly. But I would know that, how people would look at me, because I didn't care. Like I'm taking care of my kids. I'm sticking with the woman who I had, who I got this child with. I'm up down 79th Street. I'm pushing strollers. You know what I'm saying? I'm carrying baby bags. I'm working at the local Burger King, this, that, and the other, because I'm already know I'm not finna stand on the corner with six other dudes and sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? Not just because that is, I'm not finna poison my own community, but also because that don't make no sense anyway. That's lame anyway. Ain't none of y'all making no money. Y'all want to start off nickel and diamond on the corner. I'd rather start off in, in a corporation and make a name for myself, build a resume for myself, and then work my way up to what the Lord has been blessing me with today. You know what I mean? But I remember, certain people would look at me a certain way, or, oh, man, he a lame, he working at Burger King, he taking care of his kids. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how that could be perceived as lame, but that's the culture that we grow up in, but, thank God that for my kids' sake, and for my wife's sake, that I wasn't no lame. You only, one thing about that too, you only a lame if you let somebody tell you is. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm not following nobody, and I wish somebody would tell me something about myself, or try to put me down for it, or try to make me feel like I'm lame or something like that, because I'm doing what's right to do. I'm doing the things that's righteous. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be a real man and not a little boy. You feel me? So this is the culture, this is the type of stuff that we grow up in. And you grow up with these type of mentalities and thinking this stuff is cool. The streets lied to you about manhood. The streets lied to you about manhood, bro. Y'all of these, what y'all think is manhood and what y'all think is tough, these dudes is real soft. These dudes are real emotional. These dudes are swayed by anything anybody say to them. These dudes are swayed if somebody step on their shoe or something the wrong way, then they ready to kill them, because a lot of them ain't have no real male figures in them to show them how to deal with their emotions. A lot of them ain't have no real male figures around them to show them, you know what I'm saying, how to operate, how to use reason and logic over feelings. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of them was raised by their mothers. You know what I mean? And so they growing up, number one, angry. They angry at, their circumstances. They angry at their fathers. They angry at their mothers. You know what I mean? And so they growing up with all of this emotional baggage and nobody around to guide them and lead them and to help them to see what they supposed to do with it. And so they go and become, you know, something that somebody told them, that the culture, that hip hop, that rap, or that people around them told them, well, oh, this is how men do, this is how guys do, you know what I'm saying? This is how we carry ourselves. This is what's manhood, you know what I'm saying? Being tough, being able to take another dude's life. That's gonna make you hard. You feel me? Being able to get respect in the streets. That's what's gonna make you a man. You know what I'm saying? Being able to have as many women as you want, get money. That all of this stuff makes you a man. You know what I mean? And it's all lies. You feel me? And it's all lies, and all of that is the same things that is playing the biggest part in everything that's going on with our people, with our community, and everything of that nature. So, streets just been lying to you, bro. You ain't hard. That don't A gun on your waist don't make you hard. You know what I'm saying? Because you rolling with 30. Like, look at everything. Everything they do is soft. Everything they do is soft. They gang, right? You gang because you ain't a man, bro. You gang because you need 20, 30 people with you to feel like something. I walk in a crowd of 20, 30 people. You feel me? I got thousands of angels that's walking with me. You feel me? So I don't need nothing or nobody else. But if you not a man, if you don't never known how to be a man, you never was guided and led by one, you never had a father or somebody to tell you, how to be your own man, then you need 20 other men to feel validated. You know what I'm saying? But that's gang, and I guess that's what's supposed to be cool to them. You know what I mean? And it's all lies, bro. It's all lies. You know what I'm saying? Until we learn what real man, if we knew what real manhood was, if that stuff really made you tough, if that stuff really made you hard, if it really made you something like that, then our communities wouldn't be the way that they are. You know what I'm saying? The reason why things are the way that they are is because the man has been led astray. And when I'm speaking about, what I'm familiar with, which is what I come from, which is my communities and black people and the black community. You feel me? We've been led astray as men. You feel me? We the reasons why our streets is tore up. We the reasons why, because we not manning our neighborhoods. We not raising our boys to have integrity, to have honor. You know what I'm saying? To be noble. You feel me? We raising them, we are, or not raising them, or allowing this culture to raise them. Look at we allowing this culture to raise our daughters. We allowing Nicki Minaj, we allowing Cardi B, we allowing City Girls, we allowing Megan Thee Stallion to tell our daughters what's cool to be. You know what I mean? That it's cool to scam men and try to get money from them. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to use your body as a means to try to get you some type of gain out of it. You know what I mean? To devalue yourself in order to try to come up. You feel me? But this the type of stuff that we push into our children, or that we allow them to do and to say. You know what I mean? And it's like, we don't really want change, because real change, it comes from self-accountability. And that's the number one thing that nobody wants to do. Everybody wants to point the finger. It's a lot easier to do that. It's a lot easier to point the finger. Like I say, I'm from the south side of Chicago, right? And I hear a lot, we hear, put the guns down, right? Even the radio stations, they say, put the guns down, put the guns down. What can we do to stop the violence in Chicago? And then they play 20, 30 drill songs, 20, you know what I'm saying? The next song they playing is talking about, everything that you claim you want to stop. You feel me? But you don't really want to stop that, and you ain't really about that life. You know what I'm saying? But, you about another kind of life. The life that they saying that they about in the street, but there ain't no life in that. That ain't about life. That's about death. You know what I'm saying? That's what they need to say. I'm about that death, because that's all y'all doing, and that's what y'all perpetuating in the community. You know what I mean? So it's just it's ridiculous, man. They lied to us about manhood, man. They lied to us about sex, bro. They lied to you about family. You got men out here who would rather be amongst the other men who want to be in gangs, or they want to be around a bunch of guys, bunch of dudes, instead of with they woman. You know what I'm saying? And with they kids. I can't understand it for the life of me. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of guys be with the bro time and all of this, that, and the other. Like, listen, why wouldn't you want to be spending that valuable time with the people in your family, and being a pillar in your family? You know what I'm saying? Rather than running the streets with a bunch of niggas. You know what I mean? Like, that's That's emotional, and that's a little suspect to me. You know what I mean? Um, that I'd rather be around a bunch of guys all day than rather be around my kids. I'd rather be around a bunch of guys all day than to be around my woman, to be around my wife, than to cultivate my house. I'd rather be in the streets, running around the streets and tearing up the streets all day, you know what I'm saying, versus building up my own home. You know what I mean? But this is the culture. This is the stuff that I guess is supposed to be cool. You know what I mean? We just backwards. We just backwards with a lot of things. And I just be sitting here thinking about it, if people really actually wanted real change. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you know they don't. Because it takes accountability for real change, and it takes for you to be real, and it takes for you to look in the mirror, and nobody want to do that. You know what I mean? And so that's the reason why things gonna remain the same. No matter who you point the finger at, no matter who you try to place the blame on, no matter who you claim to tear down or destroy whatever system or whatever it is that you're trying to do, you ain't gonna never get nowhere because there's no self accountability. And if you don't never deal with those things, the root of those things, that got you behaving the way that you are, that put your environment and made your environment what it is, then ain't nothing gonna ever change from it. You know what I mean? The streets lied to you, bro. I know guys that 30 something years old still talking about what gang they is, still talking about what gang, you know what I'm saying, they rolling with, or who they, posting online, posting literature and all that. Like it's time to grow up. You know what I'm saying? And when they realize it's time to grow up and they know that they too old for the game, then they try to go with, no, this is what we really about, and this is what we, listen, man, you a lame and you a follower. You a lame and you a follower. Be your own man. Step outside of that, man. Find out what manhood is really about. How you gonna find that out? The Most High, the one that they told you was lame too, the one they told you to run away from, the one that they lied to you and had you out here destroying yourself and destroying your neighborhood and destroying your family. You know what I'm saying? The one that they told you to stay away from. Yeah, that same one. That's who you go to find out what's real. What's real. I'm gonna tell you this too. God is the realest. Y'all think these dudes in the street is real? You think OG is real? You think Christ is my OG? Like on some real, like, y'all think these dudes real? Read the scriptures, man. Read the Bible. God is not what you was. God is not what you think He is. God is oftentimes not what you was taught in Sunday school and church and all of that stuff. That's not the same God of the scriptures. You got to go into the scriptures yourself and understand who the Most High is. Because if you're trying to get your understanding from church, trying to get your understanding from religious people, then you're not going to have no understanding of who God is. God is the realest. Christ is my OG. You know what I'm saying? So you could continue to look up to another man in the street and look at them as something that is, somebody to be honored and to be revered. And they ain't going to give you nothing that's going to be any type of sustenance for your soul. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to really give you nothing that's going to do anything to edify you. You know what I mean? And so that's what you left with. That's the conundrum you left with, man. Choose Christ, choose life, or choose all of those things and choose death. You feel me? All praise to the Most High, Yahuwah Elohim, in the name of His Son, Yahushua Hamashiach, who the world knows as Jesus Christ. Peace.